Okay, so I was trying to work with this as my filler piece. I'd kind of tried to cut that profile and grind it out and make it kind of come together, and I wasn't really happy with how it was going. A lot of the surfaces were uneven and whatever, so I decided to start over. So that piece has gone by the wayside, and I actually went and I just bent a piece of the 1/4 inch stock to match the profile here, pretty close of the knife, again with a little bit of overhang for sanding. And that actually came out pretty well. So I think what I can do is mark and drill my holes here, and then put this thing up on the mill and mill down the thickness to exactly what I want. Then with the holes drilled and the thickness down, then I'll just go here on the inside and sand or grind it down so that everything works. But I was pretty happy with just bending it in the bench vise with how I got that curve to line up. So that was exciting. Oh, and I did do the other scale this evening. Got the screw sunken on that. That one went much better. The second time you do something, you're a little better at it. So was glad of that. So got that looking good. So anyway, I'm gonna get these holes marked here. See how that goes. They're awful small. I don't know how much wiggle room I'm gonna have on those things, but we'll work with it. So it's pretty good there. I may go try and find a punch and stick a punch down in there and smack them so I get them as tight as I can before we chuck it up and drill it. Alrighty. Okay. Alright, so I forgot a piece here. One sec. Okay, left this sitting on the other bench. I'm going to try and do a very rough fit up. Now I know when I do this, it won't close all the way because I haven't shaped the inside of my spacer piece. However, I want to make sure before I go to that work. Ooh, just about lost a screw. I cannot believe I have not lost any of these screws yet. I have had them out on my desk all the time. So anyway, I want to take this bolster off. It's getting late. But I just want to see. I'll try and keep things on camera here. But oh, that doesn't go there, Curtis, you dummy. You gotta have your other pin. Those will go last here. Okay. I just want to see if all my pieces will dry fit. And work kind of the way that they are supposed to work. That works out, that's good. And then I'll shape my spacer piece and do some other things. Still surprises me how you think that a small project you have less to do, but you don't. You have just as much, if not more, to do. You just do it on a smaller scale. No, that's right. Nope. Kind of exciting to have gotten to this stage, I think. Something is not got one of those screws to line up. And one didn't want to grab. There she goes. Sweet. Good, good. Okay. Cool. Wow, Dad. I'm getting kind of excited. First dry fit. Boy, I like that size. Big enough to be a, I don't know if that was all on camera or not. Yep. Trying to do it, but there we go. Okay. Be excited to take this in the house and show Sarah. Just kind of not torquing everything down. I worry so much about the tiny threads on these screws. Oh, Lordy. They're so small. Ah! There she is. First dry fit. Wow, Dad. Nice size. Could try and close it. I know I'm gonna have to do something maybe here because that's kind of a hard thing to grab, but can't close it all the way just yet on account of the aluminum. It's a little bit loosey-goosey. Sweet. Okay. There's the first dry fit. Scales are on. Back piece. I'm glad I did that. That's going to look nice when it polishes up. A little bit of a gap there where that pin is, but there's not really a way around that unless you get real fancy, and I ain't that good yet. Sorry. But the bolster pieces are on there. Slowly but surely coming together. Alrighty. Time to head inside. Good night. Okay, Dad. Well, I decided that I didn't like that spine piece after all. That gap I talked about was bugging me. And laying in bed last night, I thought of a better way to do it. So I thought I would just do one more. Third time's a charm. And I got a better setup here on the mill. It's cutting nice. So hopefully get a nice even cut. Let's put a little bit lubricant here. Anyway, I'm too picky for my own good on this stuff. But it should be nice when we're done. Kind of the goal. So I started doing half of it, and then I realized I didn't have the camera running. So now I'm just watching right up against my fixture. Yeah. This little spot over here. Oh. I really enjoy running these cranks. So satisfying. Just precisely being able to cut down material. So, I think that about got her. Wrong size wrench. Gee whiz, what am I doing? Need to make a thing to hold my tools. Okay. That holder. That holder. There we go. Should be pretty good. Okay, so third time is indeed a charm. So I got that piece in there. Got a good profile that I can sand down and make it nice. And now, too, I shaped it to come up and grab that pin and meet at a nice tight line. So I'll be able to clean this up, bring that down to match there, be filled in. The only trick now is I got to go on the inside. So it's a really tight knife. I just get my fingernail in there. It goes, but I bottom out right here. So it's hitting that aluminum on the inside. So I got to go in there and I got to hog a bunch of that away on the sander and the grinder to let the blade fully close. That will be the next task, but I'm happy with that. Nice. I hate pocket knives that are wiggly up here, and this one looks like it's going to be really tight, which is good because that means quality. So there we go. Okay, so this is that spine piece I've been working on, and I'm going to try and cut this profile in where I marked it. I'm not thinking I can cut all the way or just along that profile, but if I kind of sneak up on it like this, then I figure I'll get closer than I would otherwise. Got myself a brush here. Kind of squealy. Use my lubricant. There we go. I always forget about cutting oil. Be able to see my line. It's working nice. I found sanding on aluminum it conducts heat so well that you can only sand on it for no, less than a minute or so, and it gets hot. So I don't want to try and do all this sanding by hand. There's not a good way to hold the part while I'm sanding on it to try and shape all this. And if I tried to do too much sanding too, once the knife is put together, I think it'll get too hot, and then if I got any epoxy or adhesive in it, which I'll probably have some, then epoxy or heat and thread locker and epoxy don't play nice together. So this is going nice. Now I'm getting up to the end. I gotta be real careful and start machining into my hold downs here. Boy, I'm liking that. We got your gun barrel today from Mike, and there's a couple parts on it. We might do a little machining to clean them up and make them look nice. So, be fun to do that. All right. There's our piece. About as close as I can machine it here on the mill. So, I got my camera a little goofied, but sorry. You get the idea. Okay. Okay. I'm in here now shaping this inset piece with a hand file because I got to get all my clearances right. The thing's basically going to sit in there like that. Probably took away a little bit more than I needed to here. You see where it's closed, kind of down in this range. It's really got to be all the way. That really tight shape in there. I gotta try and get that transferred over into here, which is tricky. So I figured I better just do it by hand. So that's what I'm working on right now. So I sit here with this and try and shape that. Okay. You know when I said third time's a charm? Third time is not the charm. Cutting this piece again because the other one didn't fit right. So that's what we're doing. Getting pretty good at these. We'll find out how it's gonna go. And I got a little better view. So probably by this time we're sitting there on Christmas Day saying, why are we gonna watch this again? We already know he can machine that little piece of aluminum. And if I were you, I would be thinking the same thing. So I'm using a longer piece so I can fixture and hold it better while I do my machining. A little bit of rattle, but working. Ooh. And then we'll go that way. Slow and steady wins the race. You can't see me, but I'm working the X and the Y. So I come across like this. That's this back and forth, that's Y. That handle there is X. And I set up the thickness by adjusting the Z axis. And then I just lock that down. Then I come across with the X and the Y. And machine the piece down. Whoop. Alright. Probably not going to video test fit again. You've seen that a few times now. I'll skip that until I get a little further along. To something more interesting. So that should do it. So, okay, bye. Here's what I did. Got this pinned in place, marked it with a good fine felt tip marker. Got my screws in. I used a spare drill bit to be my pivot point. Clamped it down so it should line up. We're gonna go chuck it up in the mill now, mill that away, and really hope we get a clean, tight fit. Fingers crossed. Say your prayers. See how it goes. Okay, just working to finish up the new profile. Much more confident about this, but pride goes before a fall. A haughty spirit before destruction. Grab this old paintbrush, which is incredibly helpful, clearing away chips. Okay. Oh, almost went too far. I think it'll be alright. I think that had to come away anyhow. You don't have to mess up for a half a sec, and all your work can be ruined. This mill is fantastic at taking off material. Not so good at putting it back on. So this is what happens when you have your sander running and you go to move it and you don't remember that spinning wheel right there is going. Ow! That hurts! It's real now. Blood, sweat, and tears. Right there. Not too bad. Took off the end of one of my violin playing fingers. Ouch! That's gonna smart in the morning. Well, there you go. Fun night.